A second day of sitting for Parliament as debates for motions on public housing come to a wrap late into the night. Key issues on the table: a proposal by Progress Singapore Party where buyers wouldn't have to pay land costs for a new flat from HDB until they sell the property. The other, a response by the government on keeping public housing affordable and accessible. A Second Minister of Finance, Indrani Rajah, took aim at NCMP Leong Wan Mai's proposal, saying that it would change the HDB's existing home ownership program into a type of national prepaid rental scheme. And she said that it works by allowing the buyer to pay a so-called user price based on construction cost and a notional location premium and defer land costs until the flat is sold.
If the individual stays in the same flat for his entire life, he only needs to pay this user price. However, if the individual were to sell his flat in the resale market after the minimum occupation period, or MOP, he would have to pay the land costs that HDB had recorded at the point of purchase, along with some accrued interest. So essentially, it's a prepaid rental scheme with an option to buy.
As she adds that deferring land costs in the pricing of new flats would draw on state reserves and ultimately shortchange Singaporeans.
The government cannot give away state land for free or sell it at an undervalue. If we do, we would be shortchanging Singaporeans. If the land remains in government hands, the government has to use it for the public good, and we do not have to charge land cost. However, when we sell the land, we charge for it because the government loses the use of it.
Ms. Indrani also said that the PSP proposal would lead to cheaper flats and drive up demand and put BTO applicants at a disadvantage. More competition for housing means lower odds of a successful ballot. And there's also the question of grants.
There will be longer waiting times and greater uncertainty. Some will not be able to get a flat at all. Then, what do you do about those who can't get onto the affordable housing scheme and have to turn to the resale market? Under PSP's proposal, there will be no government grants. How will they feel paying vastly more? They will definitely ask for much larger grants. And where will that be funded from?
Our Senior Minister of State for National Development, Sim Ann, also raised concerns about the draw on reserves and cautioned against viewing rising resale prices as a negative thing.
A 30-year-old who bought this flat on the resale market in 2023 can see asset appreciation over his lifetime. Our policies allow this buyer to fully realize the value should he choose to monetize by selling, which would not be possible if we mistakenly view rising resale prices as a bad thing to be curbed at all costs. At the same time, our policies are also flexible in providing monetization options while aging in place, such as through renting out rooms or lease buyback. This is the reason why, although the value of the flat must go to zero after 99 years, that same flat can be a good store of value over a buyer's lifetime, over the owner's lifetime, and possibly more. So even his children might benefit to some extent, just not over his grandchildren's lifetimes as well. But his children and grandchildren will get government support in turn to buy their own HDB flats and benefit from having a tangible stake that also appreciates in value.
In response, Workers' Party MP James Lim raised concerns on the opportunity cost of investing in housing.
We're not dismissing the valuable benefits that accrue to those who choose to in fact own. Besides capital gains, they can also enjoy the flexibility of interior design, which many Singaporeans do exercise. But I think she will agree with me that there are also costs. Principally, when one over-invests in housing, they forgo other potentially higher return assets. Would SMS Cement argue that Singaporeans should thereby focus the vast majority of their retirement assets and hopes primarily on real estate?
If a Singaporean was able to achieve financial security in the form of a home, you consider it perhaps over-investment, but when you have the home and you have that security, you have the options to monetize, is that not worth something? And does that not in itself also free you up for other pursuits? I think that Professor Jamus Lim is turning a blind eye to the fact that actually you do need to have the security, you need to have the options, and that alone allows you to pursue many other things that you could not if you did not have housing security.